Have you ever found yourself at a crossroads, unsure of which path to take? This is a question we've all faced. In life, we often stand on the precipice of decision-making, a precipice that can seem daunting and insurmountable. The stress, the anxiety that can accompany these moments can be overwhelming. It's like standing in front of a labyrinth with countless paths branching out before us, each one as uncertain as the next. But imagine if there was a tool, a compass, that could help us navigate these complex mazes with ease. This tool is not something external, not something you can buy or borrow. It's a shift in perspective, a shift in understanding. It's called surrender. Surrender is not about giving up or admitting defeat. It's about letting go of the reins and allowing a higher power to guide us. It's about trusting the journey and embracing the unknown. What if there was a way to navigate these crossroads with ease and grace? Imagine a ship in a storm tossed by the waves and wind. Picture this, a grand ship, once the king of the sea, now caught in the middle of a ferocious storm. The waves are like mountains and the wind howls like a beast. The ship, despite its strength and size, is at the mercy of the tempest, thrown about like a mere toy. The crew is gripped by fear, and even the most experienced sailors are unsure of their fate. In the heart of this chaos, the captain remains calm. He has faced storms before, he knows the power of the sea. But he also knows something else, something that gives him strength in the face of adversity, the unwavering light of the lighthouse. It's a beacon, a guide, a promise of safe harbor. The captain doesn't see it yet, but he knows it's there, waiting, shining through the storm. This lighthouse is his faith, his trust in a higher power that guides him through the tempest. He doesn't need to see it to believe in it. He feels its presence in his heart, in his soul. It's this faith that strengthens him, that keeps him steadfast when all around him seems lost. Our lives are much like this ship, aren't they? We too face storms of doubt, of fear, of uncertainty. We too are tossed around by situations that seem beyond our control. But just like the captain, we too have our lighthouse. It may be a belief in the divine, in the universe, in the inherent goodness of life, or simply in our own inner strength. This faith, this trust in something beyond ourselves is our guiding light. It illuminates our path, showing us the way even when everything seems dark. It gives us hope when despair threatens to overwhelm us. It provides comfort when we are afraid, strength when we are weak, and courage when we must face the unknown. Just as the captain trusts the lighthouse to guide his ship safely to shore, we too can trust our faith to guide us through the storms of life. We just have to believe, to trust, and to let go of our need to control everything. Like the captain, we too can find our lighthouse in the midst of the storm. But how does one exactly let go and trust in a higher power? Imagine you're standing on the edge of a cliff, the wind gusting around you, the churning sea far below. This cliff is your fear, your anxiety, your need for control. The first step to letting go is acknowledging this cliff exists within you. Acknowledge your fears, your doubts, and your need for control. Remember, it's perfectly natural to feel these emotions. They're part of being human. Next, understand that the cliff is not the entirety of your existence. There's a vast, beautiful world out there beyond the confines of your fear. Accept that there are things you cannot control. The waves crashing against the cliff base, the gust of wind that tugs at your clothes, the sun setting in the horizon, these are all beyond your control. And that's okay. Accepting what we cannot change is a fundamental part of the art of letting go. Now close your eyes, feel the wind, hear the sea, and choose to trust. Choose to trust in a higher power, in the grand design of the universe. Trust that you're exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you need to do. Trust that even if you don't understand the why and the how, there is a reason. Trust that you are guided, protected, loved. Letting go is like taking a leap off that cliff into the unknown. It's scary, it's exhilarating, but above all, it's freeing. You're no longer confined by your fear, your doubts, or your need for control. You're free to soar, to explore, to grow. Consider the caterpillar, wrapped tight in its cocoon. It must let go of its old life, its old identity, to transform into a butterfly. It's a leap of faith, a surrender to the unknown. But in the end, it emerges more beautiful, more powerful than it could ever have imagined. Letting go is not about giving up, but about trusting in the journey. So, what happens when we surrender and let a higher power guide us? When we surrender, we unlock a world of benefits that ripple through our lives, creating waves of positive change. One of the most profound benefits is reduced stress. Just imagine no longer shouldering the burden of control, no longer feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders. Instead, you're handing over the reins to a force that's omnipotent and benevolent. It's like exhaling after holding your breath for too long. Suddenly, there's space for peace to seep in. Speaking of peace, that's another beautiful gift of surrender. It's a peace that's not dependent on circumstances, not swayed by the storms of life. It's a peace that surpasses understanding, as if you found a quiet sanctuary within the chaos. Picture yourself standing in the middle of a bustling city, yet feeling calm and centered. That's the kind of peace we're talking about. But it's not just about peace and reduced stress. Surrender can also give you a greater sense of purpose. It's like finally seeing the big picture, understanding your place in the grand scheme of things. You start to realize that every experience, every challenge, every joy, and every pain has a purpose. You're not just aimlessly drifting in the sea of life, you're sailing towards a meaningful destination. Let's consider a butterfly. Before its transformation, it's merely a caterpillar limited to crawling on the ground. But when it surrenders to the process of metamorphosis, it emerges as a beautiful butterfly, free to soar the skies. That's what surrender can do to us. It can transform our lives in ways we never imagined. So, surrender isn't about giving up or admitting defeat. It's about embracing a power greater than ourselves, trusting in its wisdom and allowing it to guide us. It's about letting go of control and inviting in peace, purpose, and transformation. In surrender, we find not weakness, but strength. So, are you ready to let go and trust in a higher power? We've journeyed through the understanding of surrender, recognizing its immense power. This is not about giving up, but rather opening up to the guidance and wisdom of a higher power. We've delved into the concept of faith, a potent force that can move mountains and calm seas within us. We've gone through the process of letting go, a liberating act that frees us from the shackles of our fears and anxieties. We've also explored the benefits of surrender, a transformative experience that can lead to profound inner peace, clarity, and purpose. In the grand scheme of life, surrender, faith, and letting go are not signs of weakness, but of courage and strength. They are the keys that unlock the door to a life filled with peace, purpose, and profound joy. Remember, like the captain in the storm, your lighthouse is always there, guiding you towards peace and purpose.